This is Curtis Miles. I am the Canadian technical lead for the IBM Blockchain team. And I want to take you through today a little bit of an interactive experience for using blockchain to trade energy and create an energy ecosystem. So if you are willing to play along, you can go out and take out your phones, and I want you to go to this URL. So if you pop open your mobile browser, I want you to go to ibm.biz/BC4Energy. You can see the URL at the kind of top left-hand side of my screen. And what that'll allow you to do is join our community. So on the screen, you can see our little town, and our town is made up of 5 different neighborhoods. And so as you go to that URL, you will be presented with a screen that looks something like this here. So when that pops up, you should see it. And this will give you the opportunity to move into the town. So inside of the town, we have a few different things that I'll point out before we get started. As you can see, we have our power plant, and our power plant is producing some pollution here. So collectively, we are going to be working together to try to reduce the amount of pollution that our power plant is spitting out into our atmosphere. And we're going to do that by upgrading our homes. So as you move into the community, you'll be given an opportunity to upgrade your home and to make your home more energy efficient, and also to add some energy generation capabilities directly to it. And that will give you some financial rewards, as we'll see. You'll also notice at the bottom of the screen, we've got kind of 2 graphs here. We have this red graph, which is the estimation of the amount of energy that is going to be used. And you can see we're estimating it 2 days out here. So every one of these little circles on our graph represents about a 6-hour time period. And this energy estimate is produced for this community by one of the participants in our blockchain business network. So the participant that actually produces that 2 days out energy estimate is the electricity system operator. So for the province of Ontario, this is the Independent Electricity System Operator, called ISO is the acronym that we use. And so ISO's role, among many other things, is to do first the long-term forecast of how much energy the province is going to need, as well as a short-term forecast 2 days out, and essentially create spot markets in situations where we have an expected increase of demand for electricity that exceeds what might be available for supply. And what we're going to do as part of our experience together is we are going to respond to one of those energy situations where there's this increased demand for energy, and we're going to have the opportunity to use some of our home upgrades to meet that demand and then be compensated for that. So the electricity system operator creates this demand. The little blue graph, which is a little bit hidden by the red because our estimates are currently quite accurate, represents all of the energy that's being used by all the participants in our community. And so we actually have 3 participants right now, but we'll all move into the community in just a second, and we'll see that the energy usage will go up. We have also in our energy ecosystem electro utilities, which is playing the role of the aggregator. So this is a utility company, and Electra is responsible for, in this case, managing all of the distributed energy resources, or DERs. That's the generation capabilities and the storage capacity capabilities that each of the households within their region have, to be able to aggregate these households and their generation capacity together to be a big enough unit to be able to participate in that spot market for electricity that the regulator will open up when we have this increase in demand. So by default, you need to be able to generate 2 megawatts of electricity to participate in that market. And so obviously that's beyond the reach of any one household. But as you bundle these households together and start to aggregate their generation and consumption capabilities, you can now participate on behalf of these households in that energy market, and we'll see that play out. The last participant in our business network here is Interac. So Interac is the financial network operator in our ecosystem, and Interac manages the financial ecosystem for the debit card network in Canada, and has deep relationships with almost every retailer in Canada that is capable, and every retailer that is capable of receiving payments through the debit card network. And so we're going to see in this case how Interac opens up the network and uses their relationships with the retailers to give them access to these customers who now have some additional coins to be able to spend, these energy coins that we'll introduce. Okay, so that's kind of your overview of the lay of the land. So if you've got your phones and you've gotten successfully to this page and you tap on Begin, you have the opportunity here to pick your household, so how you want to show up in the neighborhood. And so I'll be a medium-sized household, and you can name your household. So I'll be the Miles family, and pick your neighborhood. I think I'll move into the west side here. and everybody can click on Get Started. So as you click on Get Started, you should see your face pop up here on the map, and we got lots of different faces coming in here. Here's the Miles family. Oh, and on that previous screen, if you tap on your little face, you can pick what you want to look like. And now on your screen, you'll see 3 different categories in which you can upgrade your home. So you can tap on the little light bulb, for example, here to try to win an upgrade or try to earn the upgrade, an energy efficient upgrade for your home. So in this case, we're trying to play a little bit of a memory matching game to earn the ability to have smart lighting in our home. And so you can click on the little leaf icons and try to match the symbols between the different spots here on the map. And as you match, you earn your upgrade. And when you click on Done, you can see my upgrade is being applied. And now my energy efficiency rating for my home has just increased. And so as we do that, you'll also notice that at the bottom of your screen, it's keeping track of your current personal energy consumption characteristics. And so in this case, as I earned my upgrade, you can see that my energy consumption has decreased because I've got this smart lighting in my home. I can also play for energy generation. So I can upgrade my home to, for example, add some rooftop solar panels. So I play the same game here, and this time I'm trying to add my rooftop panels to my home, and so I have to get all the right matches in all the right places. And as I do that, I now have energy generation capabilities that are being added to my home. And as I do that, you'll notice that my personal graph changes, and I can see that I'm now generating a little bit of the energy to offset my energy usage. And in fact, as you'll notice here, that my energy savings is actually going up. So I have real-time visibility now into what I am actually saving inside of, on my energy bill, just because I've got my energy generation combined with my energy efficiency. And you can continue to play these games. You can increase your overall greenhouse gas reduction. You can reduce your overall greenhouse gas emissions and upgrade that way, eventually earning the ability to have a smart car, for example. And, as we continue to do that, you'll notice that the energy characteristics in our ecosystem start to change. Previously, all of our energy was coming from the power plant. But now, as folks within our community are upgrading their energy generation, we're starting to see that we actually have community-produced energy that's growing. And in fact, if we together collectively as a group were to do all of our upgrades on the energy generation side, what we would find is that we would actually be able to make a material difference to our energy generation, and actually the smoke and the smokestacks would essentially fade to nothing if we can be successful at that enough. So just a little bit of a goal that maybe we can all have together as we're playing along. Okay, so this is all great. We've all got our homes and we've been performing lots of upgrades, and we can see the energy generation and consumption characteristics of our community down here, and we can watch our leaderboard here as Jeff's house is winning as the savings leader here in terms of how much energy is being saved. But let's take an example here where it will be beneficial to have upgraded our homes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce a little bit of a weather event that's going to come 2 days out. And this weather event is going to be a big snowstorm that might be on the horizon. And so the energy regulator is responsible for indicating that we're going to have this increased need for energy because there's going to be more heating that's going to be required in the homes during the snowstorm. And that will give each of us that have upgraded our homes an opportunity to participate in that market and sell some of the energy that we have either generated or conserved to the community to be able to meet the needs for this demand response event. So before I do that, though, I'm actually going to turn on energy coins. Okay, so I'm going to enable that inside of our ecosystem. And in fact, on your device, you should now see a new category show up called energy coins. When we are responding and using our distributed energy resources to meet this upcoming increased demand during the snowstorm, we're not just going to be compensated by energy savings. We're actually going to be compensated through energy coins. And we'll see how those start to accrue and add up. So I'm going to adjust the energy estimate here, and we see as we do that we've got our pending weather event coming 2 days out. There's our increased prediction. And now I'm going to notify, Electra is going to notify all their customers of the shortage. And so up on your screen, you should have seen a window that looks like this, which gives you the opportunity to use all of your upgrades for the benefit of or during this demand response event. So I have just indicated that I'm willing for the electricity company to take over my thermostat and adjust it by maybe up to 2 degrees during this event. And so now we're in the middle of the snowstorm. So you should see some snowflakes falling on your home, on your mobile device. Certainly we see it here on the map. During this period, you'll notice we're being compensated for those energy resources that we contributed to be able to meet this demand through the use of energy coins. And so our energy coin balance is going up, and now the snowstorm has finished, and lo and behold, we're all happily able to go ahead and use those energy coins. But of course, what can we use these energy coins for? At the moment, there doesn't seem to be anything. So what we're going to do is use the power of Interact and the financial network that they represent and open up a marketplace. So as I click on Open Marketplace, you should notice on your mobile device that you now have a new section shows up called Marketplace near the top that allows you to use some of these energy coins. But of course, right now, there's no retailers that are part of this marketplace just yet. So we are going to go to our individual retailers that are part of our community, and we're going to allow them to enter the marketplace. So here we are at the Coffee Cafe, and so as I tap Coffee Cafe, there should be some options that show up on your device for things that you can buy using your energy coins at the cafe, depending on how many coins you've earned in that last event. I'm going to turn on our bank, our local bank. So now there's some new products that show up in the marketplace that are from the bank that allow you to buy some investment products. And now, lastly, we're going to click on our electronics store. We'll allow the electronics store to enter into the marketplace. And so you should now see a third category here of products that you can buy at the electronics store. Again, depending on how many energy coins you earned in our last energy event. And so what this is showing you is the ability to translate the benefits that have accrued to you through the use of your energy upgrades on your home into this currency, this energy coin currency that is directly traceable to exactly what the components were within your household that allowed you to participate in that energy event, and now use those at a local retailer who might be very incented to attract you as a clientele, as that green customer, because maybe they want to establish their brand as a as a very green organization, or maybe they want to attract green customers because they know that the average spend for green customers is more than usual, and so it gives them the opportunity to reach out to this community and engage in this type of tap to pay experience, right? So making this very simple with the Interact technology to do that. So we can, for example, I'm going to buy a large fair trade coffee, and maybe I'll come back later and I'll get my pumpkin spice latte, and so I've used up my coins here. I've got 22 left. Maybe I'll save those for another day. And I've been able to now participate in this ecosystem. So let's think about, in this story, why blockchain. Okay, so blockchain is an interesting mechanism in this industry here, or in this ecosystem, for being able to bring together all the different parties, right? I would put it to you that it would be very difficult to have a conversation that links together the energy aggregator here with the energy utility, with the financial network operator, that are all responsible and all interested in sharing different pieces of information with selective visibility to make this story possible. So what that looks like is each of these individual households is publishing sensor readings, right, according to the sensors that are powering their smart home or their energy generation capabilities, and those sensor readings themselves are being placed on the blockchain. So we now have visibility into exactly what each household is capable of producing. The energy regulator can use that information to feed into their long-term and their short-term forecasting, right, to better understand what the energy landscape is inside of the communities that will be consuming and producing this power. That energy readings are also what we can use as the aggregation mechanism here to be able to participate in these energy spot markets. So when we had our snowstorm and each of the different participants in the community was able to take part in that, that was because those readings are actually recorded on the blockchain, and they can be directly tied to the payment that gets paid out in the energy coins to the individuals. Of course, we have our energy coin balance, which is stored on the blockchain here, which gives visibility for each of the customers into kind of where they stand on that balance, and also gives us the opportunity to directly integrate that energy balance all the way out into the retailers to be able to complete that tap-to-pay purchase through the Interact network and leveraging the Interact technology. So we have three